Hello guys, welcome to our channel The Special Mom. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe to our channel to know more about us. And this particular video is part 2 of cerebral palsy. The part 1 is about what is cerebral palsy and how can we know. If you haven't seen it yet, please go and check the video. And in this video I want to tell you the types and treatment for cerebral palsy. So let's go into the topic. So cerebral palsy is classified by type of movement in the muscle that results from the brain injury. So basically the first type is spastic cerebral palsy, which is commonly seen. Like 70% of the people are getting affected by spastic cerebral palsy. This results in the tight and stiff muscle. And the tightness is basically due to the abnormal functioning of upper motor neurons in the brain. The upper motor neurons are something which send our body some signals for the movement, and this upper motor neurons have something called GABA, which means a nerve inhibitory, which helps the nerve impulses to travel from brain to the body. So when this is not working properly, the nerves are overexcited, and this results in hypotonia. What is hypotonia? Hypotonia is something which is like abnormality in the muscle movement, like in the muscle activity. So this hypotonia generally includes something like toe walking and scissor gait. Scissor gait is something I can explain, like both knees touch while walking for these kids. So this is all about spastic cerebral palsy. Now let us know the second type of cerebral palsy, which is dyskinetic cerebral palsy. So dyskinetic cerebral palsy, to explain, is like which involves some damage in basal ganglia in your brain. Basal ganglia is a part which sends you the movements, the signals for coordinating movements. Like, so when this basal ganglia is damaged, obviously the movements are not controlled in the body, and the patient can lose ability for the movements, like for ability for the posture and movements, and this results in involuntary movement, which is like out of control from the patient's side. So and this damage of basal ganglia is characterized in two types. One is dystonia and other one is chorea. Dystonia, what is dystonia? Dystonia is something like very random movements in the body, like they're slow, they're random, in basically in the limbs and in the trunk part. And coming to chorea is more like dancing, like they always keep moving, the body always keeps moving. But in dystonia it is like only sometime something like jerks come up, but in chorea they keep dancing with uncontrolled movements. So this is all about dyskinetic cerebral palsy. Now let us see about the third kind of cerebral palsy, which is ataxic cerebral palsy. What is ataxic? Ataxic is like an order, and what ataxic means without any order. So basically the movements are shaky and uncoordinated in this kind of cerebral palsy. The muscles are uncooperative with the brain. And this particular cerebral palsy happens when there is a brain damage in the cerebellum. There is a part in the brain called cerebellum, and when there is a damage to cerebellum, then this kind of movement and coordinations happen. And cerebellum basically takes care of movement and coordination of the movement, like basic movements, holding a glass or something like that. So when there is a poor balance, the kids can't hold anything, or the instruction is not passing properly. So there are other symptoms which you can see in kids with cerebral palsy, and first thing in it is pain in the muscles, like due to the stiffness of their muscles, their joints and muscles keep aching. They'll have little pain in joints and muscles. And second thing is sleep disorders. Their brain is never sleeping properly, so they'll always wake up in the middle of night, or they'll not sleep for long time. And these kids also have issues with eating. They can't chew properly, they can't swallow properly until certain age. And there is also difference with speaking, vision and learning. So in order to look into all the issues which are bothering the child, we have to see many doctors. Like there are a group of doctors who can help us. So first is like, this cerebral palsy is not curable, but it is treatable. Like we can take the kid to certain lengths where he can do his work on his own. So we have to contact multiple doctors. First one is the neurology specialist, basically the child neurology specialist, and we have to take him to rehabilitation center where we do physiotherapy and all. And we need occupational therapy and also speech therapy for good speech and everything. So as I said, we have to go to different doctors and have different things. And above everything, these kids need so much love and so much support from the family. And first thing is, when you go to the neurologist will keep the patient on medication which help him reduce the pain in his muscles and gain some control over his body. And physiotherapy improves the child for his normal reaching the milestones and builds strength in the muscles. And there is also one other option for very rare cases is surgery. Surgery is needed, like to cut few tendons which were very tight, or to straight their legs, or for few bones which are getting bent. Like that, the doctor have to suggest all these things, and this is not a personal thing. So doing all these things for the child who is having cerebral palsy is a good thing, and we can give them a good life, good quality of life, by doing all these things through medication, physiotherapy, occupational therapy and speech therapy. They can be normal someday. We hope this video is helping at least one person out there, or at least one child out there. And if you like our video, please do like and comment if you have any other questions, or if you have anything to add to my video, so I can discuss about it in the next video. And please do subscribe to our channel, and thank you everyone.